Well, it's a fall, crisp Friday night here in the state of Alabama. Landrum Roberts, A.A. Moore, Spain Park High School. The setting, it is time for the Jags to do battle once again, and this time against another region foe as they close out region play in the Tigers of Chilton County. A.A., this Spain Park football team continues to get better as the season progresses. That's something you always want to see. You don't always see it, but seems like Spain Park here for the last 3-4 weeks, they're gelling at the right time.
Right, and you think back to this time last year, and this team was just on such a roll that, you know, it was like we were running on 10 the entire season until we hit 0. This year, this team had to ramp it up a little bit. Had the loss, obviously close loss to Hoover, close loss to Benjamin Russell, but this team had to find itself some. And getting these last couple of weeks to kind of work, you know, I always think of it as kind of a horse race. You don't want to go to the whip too early. And I believe that Coach Vikakis and this staff has slowly taken its time building this team up. You essentially have 2 practice games, if you will, not trying to discredit anybody else, but 2 games to kind of warm up to get ready for the playoffs. And so you don't have to crack that whip. You can save it until these guys need it. But with this man, as you can see right here, Brock Bradley, and this crew, the entirety of this crew, you know, I think they won't need as much whip cracking, if you will, because they've been here before and they're ready to accomplish their goals of winning a state championship.
You're exactly right. Quarterback Brock Bradley is warming up, and tonight Spain Park donning a little bit of a different look. They have so many different variations they can go with, but the Columbia blue helmet, the black jersey, and a little bit of a change up, a twist, if you will, the Columbia blue breeches with that combination. Looks good.
Yeah, you know, the black jerseys, kind of the blackout feeling. You saw them turn the lights out here as we prepare to welcome the Jaguars onto the field. But, you know, it's a lot of teams, a lot of people wear black to funerals, and my guess is that this is going to be a tough one, and hopefully Spain Park's able to put this Chilton County team to rest early tonight.
Chilton County 1-7 on the season. Not a whole lot to crow about for the Tigers. And Spain Park last year handling business on the road. The kickoff from Hoffman, fielded at the 20 as we get started. Slung around, finally brought down at the 27, the return man for the Tigers, and that's where we'll see Chilton County on offense for the first time tonight.
Well, the magic number for both sides, really, especially for Spain Park, is going to be 16. That is the line of demarcation here for Chilton County. They've only scored more than 16 points one time. It's the one game they won in game 2 of the season. This team doesn't score a lot of points. You keep them under 16, chances are Spain Park's going to come away with a victory rather easily.
Chilton County lining up, only 1 wide receiver, so they're going to go heavy look here early. And it's Copinger, their quarterback, who has accounted for most of the yardage for the Tigers offensively this season. Maybe a yard. Not a whole lot as he ran into the teeth of that Jag defense.
Well, that's going to be the problem for this Chilton County team, is that there's not a lot of playmakers out here. You just want to try not to make mistakes. And for Chilton County, I imagine the plan is going to be, hey, let's try to run the clock, run the ball, melt this clock a little bit, keep down the opportunity Spain Park's going to have to try to score points and see if you can stay in the ball game that way.
Instead of Copinger, they've run out Caleb Urenko, who's listed as a running back, 5'10", junior, 190 pounds. And much like the first play, this one actually goes for 2 yards. It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. But you're right, being very methodical in what they do and not being in a hurry to do anything. And that's a great way to shorten the game. And maybe if you get a break or two, if something goes your way, you're hanging around in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, most teams like to go tempo, especially early in the ball game, just to kind of see if you can get your offense going. Here for Chilton County, I imagine, as you've seen on the first 2 plays, they're not running to the line. They're just kind of taking their time and hoping to bust a couple of good big plays.
Christian Carter, Brady Heath were 2 of the defensive linemen you saw there. They're going to pitch it to the outside. That was snuffed out, was going to go nowhere. Had number 1 for the Tigers, not falling down as you take another look.
Yeah, Jordan Simon here takes the pitch, but there were 4 guys in the black and Columbia blue that was going to make sure that Jordan Simon didn't get very far.
Luke Moats lines up to punt it away. And Barrett Price lining up at his own 32 to receive it. And Price takes it out of midair. Chilton County expecting to be able to just let it come to rest, but Barrett Price, the aggressor on that particular play, as you take a look at what we saw last week, and it was a lot of Kenariga.
1, 2, and you're going to see a third touchdown reception. Rigo going right up the middle of the field as he got into the end zone. Look at him. 1, 2, 3. Probably could have gotten more, but Spain Park went to the reserves and got everybody out on the field. Big night and hoping for another one here for Kenariga.
Jags on first down. McKissick gets the carry as Bradley hands off to him. Jags went with 4 wide receivers, Rigo being one of them as you take another look.
And again, Spain Park with so many weapons, it's going to be hard to imagine Chilton County being able to stop them all tonight. Spain Park just does not want to turn the football over and be consistent with the things that they're doing tonight. And I would imagine if things go like we believe they'll go, you'll see a lot more of the reserves again here early in this ball game.
Bradley dropping back, looking for Barrett Price. Plenty of air under it. Barrett's got it. Inside the 5 and down to the 1. Barrett Price from his quarterback, Brock Bradley.
Offensive line gave Bradley plenty of time to throw that football. And Barrett Price, who's not the first or second, probably more of the third option when they're throwing the football, shows why he could be a number 1 option, easily getting behind the secondary for an Atlas Senior Living first down.
Mason McClure is the other wide receiver. He lines up to the top of the screen wearing number 2. McKissick with a handoff, cross goal line, 6-0. Jags make it look easy on their opening offensive possession. A big part of that, the big play to Barrett Price. Jags leading 6-0 with a point after touchdown.
Yeah, pretty easy pickings there for Spain Park there, as right up the middle of the field for that Andrews Sports Medicine score. And Spain Park in the end zone for the first time and what's probably going to be a couple of times here tonight.
Lutenbacher to snap it back. Jones to hopefully kick it through the uprights. Look good from here. It is 7-0, 8:39 remaining in the first. Jags lead. Garrett Hoffman kicks off. Fielded by Chilton County at the 12. Racing across the 25 up to the 30, and forward progress stopped there, and that's where Chilton County will take over for the second time tonight. The first possession, not so good for the Tigers, but boy, was it ever for Brock Bradley and the Jag offense.
Big 48-yard pitch and catch there to Barrett Price. He just got behind the secondary. That wasn't a problem at all, and it was just a matter of, hey, let's just make sure that I pull this down, and he did a good job of that.
First and 10 Tigers from the 30-yard line.
Jags going with 6 guys up on the line. 1 stood up to the outside, that being Keon Taylor. Chilton County ball is on the turf, picked up by Spain Park. We're going to get a scoop and score. Touchdown Jags. Defensive play. Israel Anders was there. Couldn't tell who caused the fumble, but the defensive touchdown early.
Looked like one of the big defensive linemen was able to get that A.R. Holmes turnover, and then Israel Anders, sure he didn't have that on his own bingo card here in the first quarter, but he's able to get the scoop and score for the Andrews Sports Medicine score, and Spain Park well on its way early.
Couple of touchdowns in just a couple of minutes of possessing the football. And that time, Jones puts it up and through. 8:15 remaining here in the opening quarter. Jags leading by 2 touchdowns. Tim Kakis got to be pleased with the start. Jags have already secured that 2 seed in the region and will play host, I believe, to McAdory. Or will face McAdory in the first round.
And that's going to be a big ball game. McAdory, obviously, with, they've got a history of being a strong team at the 5A, 6A level, and they play in a tough region as well. So that's not going to be a cakewalk under any circumstance. But you get McAdory here, I imagine there's going to be a lot of folks in the place.
I had a good conversation with Brock Bradley's dad before the game. Brock, of course, committed to Clemson. He's going to play Clemson. Will be one of those early enrollees coming up in January. Clemson offensive coordinator Garrett Riley on the Jags sideline tonight, watching the Tigers' future quarterback. Chilton County receiving the kickoff, tripped up, stumbling to the 25. And Tigers take over once again. Not a whole lot to show for so far on the offensive side for Chilton County, but unfortunately for the Tigers, that's kind of been the case all season.
Again, they've been shut out 3 times. Another game with just 7 points. This offense just has had trouble getting any real traction this season. And, when you can't score points, obviously it's going to be a problem. But when your defense is giving up nearly 30 a night or a little more than 30 a night, that's going to be an even bigger problem.
Jordan Simon, number 1, lines up at quarterback. He's joined by Cameron Desjarnais. And Desjarnais drop behind the line. They'll actually say right at the line of scrimmage, but that play resulting, with the exception of a fumble, like every other run play we've seen.
Doesn't get much, and this one gets nothing. And this front 7, knowing that, I'm sure they've seen it on film that Chilton County is going to try to run this ball a lot. It's almost a single wing type situation here. One receiver, you don't see that too much.
Christian Carter, Nathan Bird, part of that defensive line, getting that surge and just nothing doing.
When you get teams or get games where there's a mismatch, obviously the records and the rankings show that there's one superior team over the other. But when you're a player and you're on the underside of what could be an ugly contest, I know that's got to be tough coming out. Everything you've worked on during the week, I'm sure they've run these plays hundreds of times over the season and a lot this week, and to see them not get anything here early on, it's got to be a bit disheartening.
And rolling it this way. And actually a 5-yard pickup is one of the many backs that will be carrying the football tonight for Chilton County. Does so there. That's Marco Simon, senior, 6'1", 195-pound wide receiver, DB, quarterback, running back, whatever you want to call it.
This is the kind of game that linemen and linebackers love. Just stay in the box and see who we can put a hat on and try to make the best hit that you can. We've already seen one ball get dislodged. I could imagine that the Spain Park defense is going to try to get 2 or 3 more.
Barrett Price, Mason McClure standing inside their own 40-yard line. Snap back, and we got a flag. Thought the Jags were going to get a block. They had 2 guys back there before the ball was punted. And a 5-yard penalty will be assessed against Spain Park, but it should be a first down for Chilton County.
Yeah, on those kind of plays, you want to lay out, and I don't believe that's quite what happened. As you see there, it looked like number 32, that's Israel Anders, who had the touchdown. He didn't quite lay out. He just kind of ran into the kicker and didn't extend, if you will. Just kind of bulldoze him a bit.
Running into the kicker is the call against Spain Park.
So running into the kicker as opposed to roughing. the kicker, the 5 yards, but that's all Chilton County needed. So a fresh set of downs, and the Tigers run the offense back out on the field with 5 minutes, 46 seconds remaining in this opening quarter and trailing 14-0.
I like that the high schools still differentiate there. You know, you get in the NFL, everything's roughing. You could graze them, and the kicker puts on a good show, and it's 15 yards and a first down.
Heavy run look. And crashing the left side is Jordan Simon. A couple of Jags there to greet him. One of those, J.D. Bonamy, wearing number 11 there in the center of your screen. Houston Holmes, junior defensive back, wearing number 17 in there as well.
Yeah, the tackle numbers ought to be pretty good here for Spain Park. You're not going to see a lot of throwing the football, I would imagine. You know, already down 2 scores. The bread and butter is going to be running the football, and kind of a pre-2000 look, but Chilton County hope is successful.
And offsides will be the call. They'll assess 5 yards. One of the Jags getting a little antsy, I believe. It might have been Ethan Boykin.
It was a good little acting job over there. On the offensive tackle. I think that was number 58 over on the far side for Chilton County. After he got touched, he kind of fell over as if he was bowled over. And that's Ethan Easterly.
To be honest with you, if nothing else, I'm kind of digging the Tiger logo on their helmets. Run off the left side. It'll bring up 3rd down. We'll call it 2.5. Let's take a look there. What do you think, AA? It's not a bad-looking Tiger.
No, not at all. You know, the color scheme's not bad either. Got an orange and blue situation going on. Or is that red?
That's more orange.
Okay.
We're going to get more Florida there.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big proponent of the stripes on the shoulders.
3rd down. And a short 2. Stacked up, wrapped up, and dropped like a sack of potatoes. Spain Park's defense on 3rd and short. I believe it's Israel Anders back there again. He's having quite the night, and we're not even done with a quarter.
He's got a scoop and score. Got a little running into a kicker penalty, but that time Anders did a good job as running back tried to bounce a couple of times, and Anders stayed right on him and was able to pull him down for the loss.
For the folks that don't get to watch tonight's game, when he goes home or goes out, hey, how did you do? I did a lot.
Just watch the first quarter.
Spain Park wisely holding up, not going to run into the punter again. Mason McClure reverses field. McClure. He ran out of real estate because I'll take the one-on-one with 2 versus anybody else. But the sideline served as the extra defender. A great return
as you can see
by
here,
number 2 in black.
Yeah, he shakes 2, runs past the 3rd, gets a "Hey Ma, don't shoot" with the hands up there by number 17, Houston Holmes, and Mason McClure used that pseudo block there to pick up some extra yards, and it's going to be a good start here for the Jaguars.
Hudson Reed, Isaac Harris, Jackson Bryant, Sammy Camargo, Reed Oatridge. Your starters up front. Brock goes to the air. It's Barrett Price once again. And Barrett, after the catch, makes a guy miss. Strides across the 45, and he's down to the 42 inside of Chilton County territory.
That's going to be a Atlas Senior Living first down, but also want to recognize our first quarter sponsor, Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical, which provides residential service and repair to the local Birmingham community. Hiller is the homeowner's premier home service provider of choice with their unbeatable Happy You'll Be, or the service is free, 100% satisfaction guarantee. Call the Happy Face truck today. Hiller Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
J.D. Thompson, first carry of the night for number 14. Came back from injury here late in the season, and at the right time, he and both Nick McKissick, as Hudson Hibbard and others had to pick up the slack. admirable work in doing so. Thompson again, he loves to get a little bit of steam behind him before he gets going, and when he does, look out, and that's good enough for another Jag first down.
And again, as you can see, they ran that a little bit last week where Bradley is going to look to the far side of the field, and then he pitches it to the near side and looking to kind of catch the opposition in the wrong place at the wrong time, and that was good for a first down.
Connor Grubb, who is listed as a tight end, but certainly can play some wide receiver, and Rigo gets hammered as he came across, and Rigo is not moving around a whole bunch. Now he comes to, and he's helped up by Grubb. And check on the Chilton County player who's still on the turf at the 15. You had Grubb wide, you had Rigo down below, and Rigo came across. It was a good throw by Brock, a spot throw before Rigo came into the picture, and defender right there to knock it away. While they tend to the injured Tiger, we'll take timeout as well. After the injured player tended to, looks like everybody's going to be okay. Second down and 10 for the Jags as Bradley going back to the air, going for Grubb this time. The turnaround, the catch is made. Touchdown, Jags. 28-yard strike. Brock Bradley to Connor Grubb.
Well, you talk about some sure hands, some good hands. Connor Grubb has shown that he can haul in anything if you can get it close to him. That time, just a slight little push and turn to be able to get free. He knew where that football was, and he turned right into the football, grabs it with both his big hands, and it's another Andrews Sports Medicine score for the Jags.
Jones on to attempt the extra point. Out of the hold of Asher McBride. Lutenbacher snap is back. It's good. 21-0. Jags lead as you see Clemson offensive coordinator Garrett Riley. Some familiarity with the Clemson staff. Of course, John Gross, who was head coach here on that staff. Andrew Zhao, who I used to call games with here at Spain Park, on that staff. And Tyler Grisher, who played wide receiver / quarterback. Did a lot for the Jags back in the day. He's the wide receivers coach.
It's nice to have that connection, especially when you've got the connection with one of the best quarterbacks in the state, man. The recruiting that must not have been that difficult.
To be honest with you, if you followed the Clemson Tigers this year, they could probably use Brock Bradley.
The young man who was at Briarwood Christian.
Chris Vizina.
Right. He's starting this week. Is that correct, or did he start last week? I knew I saw him. He's in there.
Yeah, a lot of local ties. Hoffman to kick it away. His team leading by 3 scores. Not even one quarter in. And return. Not a whole lot there as Jace Mims had some jersey. Couldn't bring him down, but the pursuit to the far side. On point for the Jag special teams, and that's where Chilton County gets started with 1:57 remaining here in this opening quarter.
Kalen Taylor and Cam Lewis there on the stop for Spain Park. And, you know, there's one part of this team that we've seen have a little trouble. It's on that kick return coverage. And we've seen some teams, we certainly saw Benjamin Russell have success with guys able to get some big returns. So nice to see Spain Park do a good job there on the coverage.
And once again, taking the snap, Caleb Yorenko. And once again, not a whole lot there.
You know, when you run that kind of offense, you're looking for your line to be able to create some holes, to get some push. Just open it up to allow for the whoever's running the football to get through and get 3, 4, 5 yards if you can. But for the most part, minus about 2 of the runs tonight, there have been no holes. There have been no big gains here for Chilton County.
Second down and 10 after the play failed to gain. It's going to be Simon again, and Simon looking for daylight. All he found was black jerseys. Play loses 5.
Well, all the blocking is in front of Simon there. But the problem is that he's not getting any blocking on the backside. That's where he's getting tackled. It's not like the Spain Park pursuit is coming in his face. It's coming from behind because his line is not able to pin down those blocks.
Renko and nothing. J.D. Bottomy there to finish off the Chilton County ball carrier. That should be the final play of this first quarter, one dominated by Spain Park.
E.J. Curley got in there and was the first man on the scene. It's just like as soon as the Chilton County guys get the ball in the backfield, there's 2 or 3 black jerseys. Not much room to get much done.
12 minutes in the books. And the Jags with a 3-touchdown lead over Chilton County's. Recognition for Berry Middle School. Good crowd tonight here on this crisp fall night AA. And of course, next Thursday, close out the regular season against the Gardendale Rockets. And hopefully with all Rocket packs and boosters set to go, embark on the state playoffs again.
Again, that'll be another opportunity to kind of fine-tune some things. And talk about fine-tuning, and you can see the Berry Middle School team, and they have been very successful, and they bring in guys up and allowing this Spain Park program to flourish. So congratulations to the Berry Middle School.
And for somebody who can absolutely hoop, Sarah Ashley Barker. Her time here at Spain Park, time playing basketball, University of Georgia. Finished up at Alabama. And now a member of the Sparks of the WNBA. 9th overall.
Bet your dad was like, man, I didn't get picked that high.
She can play. A nice warm reception in this Spain Park crowd. Back the other way, and Spain Park just going to lay off. We get a return. Back the other way. Everybody be careful. And that's the thing you worry about in a game like this. And we saw it last year with the Spain Park wide receiver turning an ankle and being unable to go for the playoffs. But luckily, Mason McClure, he's able to get down after a good return.
And again, Mason has had a couple of opportunities here now to return punts, and he has been one big block away from breaking them. But another short field here for Spain Park on its first possession of the second quarter.
I would imagine, as we saw last week, we'll see a good bit of Nash Davis and others before it's all said and done. Brought Bradley on first down as he works from the 36. Bradley flushed a little bit, throwing on the run right there to McClure. Mason with a move to the outside. No real offering by the defensive back from Chilton County. Hate to say it, AA, but it's a touchdown.
Bradley had time. McClure, yeah, I think he thought maybe his teammate was going to make the hit, and he didn't want to get hit on it. You can't give up that kind of play, because that probably should have been a stop for Chilton County. But unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why they're looking at 1-7 as opposed to Spain Park, which comes in there at 6-2.
Out another one to the tally for Brock Bradley as the sand wedge from the bunker goes through the upright there. 28-0. Most of the second quarter remaining here in Hoover. We're back in a moment. Landrum Roberts, A.A. Moore Yes, that is right. 28-0. Just underway here in the second quarter. The last score, a 36-yard touchdown pass. Brock Bradley to Mason McClure. Had another pass, a touchdown run, and a scoop and score from Israel Anders to make up the rest of the scoring. Chilton County on the return and out to the 22. And that's all.
You know, another thing that you want to see here tonight from Spain Park as this score has already got some space. You want to see guys do the things they're supposed to do. You don't have to come out here and make highlight reels against the team that, clearly you're going to have the best of tonight, unless something turns around here very quickly. So now you want to be disciplined. You want to do the things that you've been coached up to do. Stay in your lanes. Cover your assignment. Don't try to make the big play. Just be solid in what you're doing. And as we've mentioned before, let's not get hurt tonight.
C.J. Kroom, number 21, along with Anderson Walker, number 36, two of the defensive backs. Incomplete pass. We did see a pass. It was T.K. Slaughter.
Who probably had the best chance of catching that one. And again, when you're doing the things that you're supposed to do, you're in position to do things like that. And Slaughter, certainly a big-time pass rusher, edge rusher, and also, doing a good job out there in coverage from his linebacking position. But he was prepared, looking for that pass the entire way.
Jalen Mosley checks in. I believe Nick Hendricks in there as well on the defensive line. Maybe a yard gain. J.D. Bonamy on the stop once again for the Jags. That brings up 3rd down and 9. As Chilton County trying to get out of the shadow of the uprights. As their best offensive play tonight has gone for 5 yards. The other best play was on an offside penalty, or roughing the punter, or running into the punter. That's a nice throw and catch. And it should be good for a Chilton County 1st down. That didn't look too bad.
Yeah, and it probably heard you up here berating them not getting more than 5 yards, and they get 9. So
that's what happens.
Good pitch and catch there. Good catch. Reception made there by number 2, and that's Damaquin Williams. JR, they call him, and I think that's what I'm going to call him too.
JR. It's a lot easier than I'm not going to even try to say it. Quarterback keeper and losing a yard. They have rotated backs to come in and play the role of the quarterback. Most of the time running quarterback, and that time Caleb Urenko's number was called.
It's almost as if they don't really have a quarterback. It's just like they've got a couple of tailbacks, fullbacks, and you don't know. They both put their arms out, not knowing who's going to receive the snap, who's going to be the blocking back on this single wing formation.
2nd down and 11. The 9-minute mark here in the first half. Another pass. Good coverage as Jalen Mosley takes the legs out from the wide receiver, J.R. Williams. He got vertical, but this time couldn't hang on.
And Jalen did exactly what he's supposed to do, which is to play right through the middle of that body. He didn't try to make a play on the ball. He didn't try to do too much. He saw the receiver go up. He went right through his midsection, was able to get that pass break up.
After the incompletion, 3rd down and 11. Tigers need the 42. They're going up the zipper, incomplete. Right down the seam, same matchup. Mosley, as he was working against Williams. And a nice pass breakup brings up 4th down, and the punting unit heads out once again for the Tigers.
Yeah, you want to be careful there if you're Jalen Mosley. He was doing a little jawing, and sometimes you can get a taunting penalty over that. So make the play as he did, and let's move on to the next one.
McClure and Price back deep. Once again is Luke Moats. Will punt another one away. And a good punt by Moats, fielded by Price inside the 35 at the 31. And that's where Brock Bradley, we presume, and the Jag offense take the field again. You want to get better every week. A lot of that happens during the week, during the course of practice time. Nash Davis, who we saw last week, boy, he looked good, and the future looks bright under the direction of number 13, signal caller. So the sophomore Nash Davis, all 6'4" of him, checks in. Rigo comes in motion. That's Kenna around the corner, stops, gets started again, broke a tackle. There goes Kenna Rigo. 69 yards. Here, Rigo. Touchdown Jags, 34-0.
It's not supposed to be that easy, but it wasn't that easy. First, let's give it up for John Maloof. Watch the block. He holds the block and allows Rigo to get to the outside. Then Rigo cuts back inside. He gets more blocking, and then it's just off to the races here for the Andrews Sports Medicine score. A little dance at the end as well, as that's 4 touchdowns in the last 2 games.
Arkansas State commit, Kenna Rigo. And the extra point looked more like a 7-iron that time. 35-0, under 8 remaining here in the first half, and the Jags in control. 35-0, welcome back to Hoover. Jags kicking off, and Chilton County trying to make something happen, but they haven't had a whole lot go their way here in the first 16 minutes.
Well, I'll tell you what has been going well. It's one of our sponsors, United Community Bank, proud sponsor of Spain Park football. Make sure you visit our new Meadowbrook location on Highway 280. We thank United Community Bank for being a great sponsor here for Spain Park football in 2025.
First down. Off the right side. Same result. Whether it's been the middle, the right, the left. The rushing yards have been few and far between.
Just a quick crash. E.J. Curley was right there, as well as Hudson Dees. They just, when you turn upfield, and before you can turn upfield, you're seeing the jersey of the opposing team. That's got to be a bit disheartening if you're a running back for Chilton County.
Rolling out, lofting it up. He's got his guy, J.R. Williams, and Williams almost had it, and the flag will come out, and it should.
Yeah, Tristan Hill made the play.
A really good play by Tristan Hill, AA, but there's no reason for the added insult at the end, and that will cost the Jags 15 yards, and that will cost Tristan Hill a conversation with his assistant coach.
And again, it's what I was talking about on the last drive. Just go out and play football. You don't have to do the extra stuff. You know, your play is already showing, you know, where these two teams are. And so it's kind of one of those, do you really need to kick a man while he's down situation? And, you know, hopefully these guys will understand that throughout the course of this ball game. But I'm sure Chilton County will take that and get up to the 30-yard line. They haven't had much good field position here all night, so this is pretty close to the best.
After the step off, they'll go back to the air. And it's apparent. Number 9, Logan Kopich. I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, he is the guy that throws it.
No, it's not for the Jaguars. It's number 8.
And look, the plan, run the football, take time off the clock, snap it deep into the play clock. That's great, but there's only so much you can do. And when you have a big play offense and an opportunistic defense, the scoop and score example of Israel Anders, you don't have a whole lot of options.
And again, some of it is just going to be hoping that these guys for Chilton County just continue to do the things they were coached up to do. But, you know, when you've got a team that is, as you see, tried to go with the a little bit of the reverse, kind of a bootleg type action there. Still, there's too many black shirts there for that bootleg action to work for Chilton County. But, you know, you just want to try to, you know, perform the best that you can. But sometimes when you've got the team on the other side that is, you know, far and away in a lot of places better than where you are right now, it just makes for a tough night.
Let's see what the Tigers choose to do here. It's been Kopich throwing it up to Williams here lately. Instead, it's going to be the running back, Caleb Urenko. And not a whole lot, if any.
What I'd like to see, hopefully, is a little more effort out of the Chilton County defense. A couple of the scores they've given up, you've seen missed tackles, you've seen, you know, maybe not all the effort that you want to see.
They looked very walkthrough-esque. Kind of like you're walking through prior to a game. You're where you're supposed to be. You're not completing the act of what you're supposed to do. One and 7's a lonely place to be.
And it's not just Spain Park, you know, the other teams on the schedule. Some of them of the caliber of this team, a lot of them not. And, you know, they've had trouble scoring on them too. So it's not just that it's, you know, a difference in you know, talent level. It's just that this offense right now just has not been able to perform to the level on the Chilton County side, has not been able to perform to the level to be competitive.
Well, the good news is at least it's not stifling hot. It's 60 degrees right now on a clear night here in Hoover. Got to break out the fleece, but I told myself I had to wait until after halftime. As McKissick carries for 5 yards.
And all these guys, they're loving it. I'm sure the guys who are going to be considered, you know, the first string guys, they probably understand they'll play this half, and then they'll see to the reserves in the second half. Nash Davis may get some time going into the second half, but my guess is that we may even get a little further down the quarterback depth chart tonight.
Nash Davis handing it off. McKissick lunges across midfield down to the 49. They move the chains. The clock stops while they do so. 3:19 remaining here in the opening half.
Another Atlas Senior Living first down for the Jags as McKissick just running through a big hole. Able to get nice yardage on that play. Again, Spain Park, they're not running with the usual tempo as well. They're letting this clock run. They know what's in front of them as well. And so, again, no need to just kind of run it up. You just kind of keep working and make sure you're playing hard.
Hand off to McKissick. McKissick ahead for 6. Correction, 5. As they mark him down at the 44-yard line. 2.5 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. It's been all Jags from the start. Not a huge surprise, but certainly encouraging against a team like this, knowing what's ahead. Playoff seeding has been set for Spain Park, but you come out, you don't mess around, you handle your business. And that's what we're seeing, at least for the first 1+ quarters. Handoff to Nick again. McKissick navigating his way between a couple of orange buoys and finally down at the 30.
Good job there by McKissick using his blocks. As you can see, once he gets past the first wave of tacklers, he's just looking for guys to run behind to pick up that Atlas Senior Living first down.
Good shot of Nick McKissick. Sophomore running back. I know the Jags very excited about. Barrett Price is sophomore. Quarterback Nash Davis with the toss to J.D. Thompson, and J.D. to the 20. 9-yard pickup on that one as we approach 1 minute.
Did a good job. They tried to get a strip there at the end. Watch J.D. protect that football as he goes inside, puts both arms around it, able to protect it. Good run there by J.D. Thompson.
Nash surveys things. Now Davis, the smooth throw. And he finds one of his wide receivers. That's Andrew Milan. And Andrew does exactly what he's supposed to do.
A nice little pitch and catch there to the outside. Breaks the first tackle and gets up the sideline. Another Atlas Senior Living first down and 1st and goal for the Jags.
And the ball came loose. Let's see who's got it. Spain Park says they do. Touchdown is the indication. Well, when it's going right, it's going right. Ball came loose. Couldn't tell if they said he had broke the plane of the goal line, but offensive lineman celebrating. I believe it was number 55 who came up with the football. Hudson Reed.
Yeah, he lost that football at the 1. Look at Reed jump on it. You don't get too many opportunities to score if you're the offensive lineman. And Isaac Harris saw it right away. He went to jumping up like, hey, we got a lineman score tonight. Let's celebrate. Everybody jumping up and down for Hudson Reed.
Oh. Not sure Hudson had that on his bingo card, right?
Looks a little winded right there. You don't get a chance to celebrate much when you're on the offensive line. Normally you're picking up one of your guys and hoisting them in the air. This time Hudson got in some calisthenics.
Jones with the kick, and he's perfect on the night. 42-0, good guys. Half a minute plus left. He wanted the big hat and he wanted the gold chain, and he got both after the touchdown recovery in the end zone.
You know, Coach Vakakis used to run plays for defensive linemen, for offensive linemen in a heavy package, but it's been a couple years as a big hit on the kick return there by Jalen Bates.
Goodness.
But certainly to be able to be one of the big guys and put the hat on, we haven't seen that in a little while, last couple of years. So good job there by Hudson Reed to be able to be the first to wear it in a while.
So the score you see there on your screen in 28 6/10 of a second remaining here in this first half. We invite you to stick around for the Spain Park Marching Band. Pride of the Park. Always an outstanding performance, not only with the band, the dance team, the cheerleaders, all the support, and your fans, and all of your support and watching us for this 2025 season. Defensive encroachment is the call.
think Jalen Bates was a little excited there. He made the big hit, and now he's out over on the defensive end, and he was ready to try to get one more stop here before the half was up.
Quarterback keeper on 1st and 5. Play loses a yard. 2nd and 6 coming up.
On the stop for the Jaguars, number 8, Nathan Bird.
Nathan Bird credited with the tackle.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to run any more plays here. They're going to let the clock run out.
I think that's a really good idea. 24 minutes in the books. Spain Park taking care of business in impressive fashion. 42-0 as they head to the locker rooms.
That they came out and did the things that they were knowing that they could do and were supposed to do.
Yeah, head coach Tim Vakakis having a conversation with one of our officials. Not a whole lot to complain about in the first half, especially on the defensive side of the ball. That's where it got started. It was the running attack, heavy run early from Chilton County. They tried it to the right. They tried runs to the left. They said, you know what? To heck with that. Let's just go straight at them. Same result.
Well, when you've got 5 black shirts in the backfield, that makes it a lot easier for your defense to really shut down the other team.
Then you put in somebody else to tote the football. Ball comes free. Israel Anders with a scoop and score.
All right, we talked about the bingo card and certain things being on that card or maybe not being on it, and I'm sure that wasn't, but Israel Andrews was happy to get it.
Brock Bradley setting up the Jags' first touchdown to Barrett Price, his wide receiver. It was a short run that found pay dirt first. Brock Bradley finding Connor Grebb on a beautiful pass and catch, but there was more. Brock Bradley finding Mason McClure.
Just a whole lot of, not getting things done on the Chilton County side. And then this one, even more, blocked by Maloof, but all the running done there by Kenarigo, and he goes in from 69 yards out.
And then finally, around the 1-yard line on the Jags' final score, ball comes free. No need to fear. Hudson Reed, the big fella, number 55, with a recovery. He got the hat, he got the chain, he got the congrats. Well-deserved. 42-0 as we begin this second half of play. Jags to receive. And that's Jace Mims, and there goes Jace. Opening kickoff down the far sideline. Jace Mims. No flags are down, but they're going to say he stepped out of bounds. We're on the Chilton County side, and they'll mark him out at the 43, but Jace Mims showing the Jets there.
Man, he exploded up that sideline, that far sideline, and if he didn't step out of bounds, that would have been 6, because even with Chilton County having a couple guys with angles, they did not get Mims at all.
So the Jags with Nash Davis handing off, or pitches it to Hudson Hibbard, and Hibbard breaking a couple of would-be Chilton County tackles, and then finally it takes 3 Tigers to wrestle down Hibbard on the near sideline. Hudson's able to pick up 7.
Looks like there's a flag on the play here, and it's going to go against Chilton County, which has pretty much been what's been going on all night. Everything's been going against Chilton County here thus far.
It's like an incidental 5-yard. And spot it at the 31.
First run of the half, a little penalty yardage, and turns into an Atlas Senior Living first down.
Brody Smith lines up in the slot. I believe it's Milan who had a catch earlier, in the first half. Wearing number 8 at wideout as well, but Hibbard gets his number called again, and this time the pickup is only 1.
Imagine being Chilton County knowing that you're going against the 2s and the 3s, and one of the 2s or 3s for Spain Park is the guy who probably leads this team in rushing thus far.
Hibbert again, and Hudson lowers the shoulders. He works to earn every yard that he gets, a lot of times at the expense of the defender in front of him. And he churns his way inside the 25, down to the 24. 3rd down and 3. 2.5 minutes gone by here in this 3rd quarter. Hibbert has got his 1st down. Strides across the 20 down to the 19. Chilton County player is down right there as well. And training staff will have to come out. 10 to the injured Tiger.
Looked like he's up, or he was trying to be up. But back down he goes. Spain Park over there. Again, even the entirety of the offensive line has been replaced with the reserves. Spain Park's going to get a lot of guys in here who have been getting work throughout this season. Spain Park, when Spain Park gets a lead, you can pretty much count on it being, 2-3 touchdowns late, and then in that, the reserves have gotten plenty of run this season.
They're still tending to the injured Tiger.
I think that's Jake Payton.
Well, again, Gardendale coming in to close out the regular season here at Jaguar Stadium, 7 o'clock next Thursday. So mark that down, Thursday instead of Friday. And then you get the first round of the 6A playoffs as you take a look at the bracket the way it looks right now. Spain Park drawing the 2 seed. They'll take on McAdory, the 3 seed, who fell to Bessemer City last night. Bessemer City, meanwhile, will take on Helena. Ben Russell being the top seed from Region 3. And then a very familiar foe, Saraland takes on Wetumpka. But most likely, a Spain Park win will put the Jags on the road in week number 2 and making a return to South Alabama.
And, some of those names down there that did a yeoman's job against Spain Park last year have gone on to some bigger and better things, but still a very formidable program.
Hudson, Hibbert, and running with authority, 7 yards on that carry. So next Thursday night, as the Jags take on Gardendale right here at Spain Park High School, the seniors will be honored. Make your plans to be here. Hibbert fights for 2. That's all he'll get. Is stood up at the 11. 3rd down and short. Clock continues to move, approaching 8 minutes.
These offensive linemen, it looks kind of familiar. It's just going to be a lot of repetition on run blocking, I would imagine, as we work through this second half. So hopefully they spend a lot of time on that in practice and can grade out well, because you're going to be doing a lot of that here over the next 20 minutes. Caden
Comer in at running back. Caden gets his number called immediately and got a yard. That's all. 4th down and 1 from the 10 coming up.
Ash Davis is a big guy, but they're going to keep him in the gun to try to get this yard.
And Comer inside the 5. Slithers his way to the 4. 1st down and goal.
That was a good read as Chilton County crashed on that run, and Comer just found the opening, found the hole, and was able to pick up that Atlas Senior Living first down. Comer again, right up the middle.
3 yards that time. Second and goal from the 1. Not sure if the running clock has been implemented. Never a bad idea in cases such as these. And especially at this stage in the season, John Maloof, the fullback, gets his number called for the first time tonight. And it's a 1-yard touchdown.
And Maloof, a lot of times, is the blocking back, and he does a great job of that this time. Spain Park gives him the football, and Maloof gets into the end zone for the Andrews Sports Medicine score.
Extra point attempt is up, and it is good. You even got a new kicker running into the game, Garrett Hoffman, for that point after touchdown. 49-0, 5.5 minutes with a running clock. We continue here in Hoover. Welcome back, Landrum Roberts, A.A. Moore. John Maloof's 1-yard touchdown, the difference here in this second half. As the Jags lead 49-0, J.R. Williams. One of the bright spots for Chilton County when he touches the football, which has not been a whole lot tonight, but there with a nice return. And Chilton County with their best starting field position of the evening, as they will originate from their own 44.
And the third quarter is proudly sponsored by the premier local new home builder, Signature Homes. Build your life with us, and as always, go Jags.
As we mentioned, coaches agreeing on a running clock here in the second half. That will offer some reprieve for what has otherwise been not a whole lot of resistance from Chilton County against this Jag team tonight in all facets of the game. Power set as Chilton County will try to flirt with points, but same result off the right side.
Yeah, getting it to the other side of the field is probably an accomplishment that they're trying to get to here in the second half. They've run, I think, every play but one, or two, I should say, on the Spain on their own side. I don't think they've crossed midfield, but for one or two plays.
And you take a look at the Tiger sideline and the coaching staff, and you do feel for those guys. They put in a lot of work, a lot of hours. And you line up and you give it your best every Friday night, but unfortunately, not a whole lot of numbers and very little success. Just when they thought they had something going, a big hard hit and paying the price. Number 9, we'll see who knocked it free and who recovered it for the Jags, but Chilton County, that's just the way it's gone tonight and quite frankly most of the season.
Another A.R. Holmes turnover for Spain Park, as Keon Taylor was the one who was able to get the recovery. They've got the basketball hoop out. Taylor ready for his turn. Come on, y'all got to get that together. Taylor with two hands as he picks up the fumble.
He didn't look as enthused as some. He was ready to just go ahead and get the process over, it looked like.
Well, I think he wanted the oop, and it wasn't a very good one, so he's like, let's just get to it.
After the fumble, we'll get a new quarterback in the game for the Jags and other new faces as well. I believe that's Caden Comer back at running back, but coming in to play quarterback, Everett Thorson, junior, wearing number 17. Wide out, who is checked into the game, Camden Majors, senior, number 15. I believe Milan is still in at wide out as well. Go back to the ground. Caden Comer. 1 yard on that pickup. It'll bring up third down as we approach the end of the third quarter.
You know, that was actually the best run that Chilton County had all night. And just to lose the football like that, well, you don't want to get into demoralizing because, when you're down 7 touchdowns, that I'm sure that's demoralizing enough. But to execute a play, the best play you've executed probably all night and lose the football, that's got to be tough to swallow.
Yeah, it was their freshman quarterback, Logan Kopich, who was on the wrong end of that hit, coughed up the football, and Spain Park's got it. As Jace Mims off the left side, able to cross the 45 up to the 46 and call it a victory for Chilton County. The Spain Park punting unit heads out onto the field for the first time tonight.
And as far as, getting a chance to work on some things goes, this is the only unit that has not been out there tonight. So, you want to get that work in as well. And because next week it's going to be a little different challenge with Gardendale. Pretty solid program, but playoff time comes, and we talked about McAdory being a program very prideful and quite frankly very good. And you get past that one, it's probably Saraland, and we know how good they are. So you want to go ahead and get all the work in that you can.
Mac Jones Van Pelt with a punt that is not returned. And Chilton County will have it starting at their own 24 when we start the fourth quarter. Welcome back. Here in the fourth quarter, Chilton County with the football and putting together their best offensive drive of the night as the carry goes for another first down. Cam Lewis credited with the tackle for Spain Park. Scores from around the region. Last check and last updated, Pelham lead 7-0. Ross Newton and the Panthers earning a berth to the playoffs in his first season. Helena was leading Calera 12-7 at the half. Helena knocking off Chelsea last week to grab the fourth playoff spot out of 6A Region 3. Out of 7A, how about Hoover? Hoover team that's been coming on. They had the late win last week over Thompson, and at the half, leading Vestavia 24-18. I saw a stat where the Bucks had won 14 of the last 15 in that matchup. And that was not what Chilton County wanted.
Hudson Dees has made a couple of good plays here tonight, and that time he was able to get that penetration after a couple of good runs, picked up some first downs for Chilton County, and Hudson Dees was like, yeah, well, you might be doing a little bit too much. We don't want you over on our side of the field too often.
We saw James Jones, number 85, serves as a pass rush specialist for the Jags, and there he is specializing in tracking down a quarterback, and wisely, Tiger quarterback pitches it out of bounds. Why not?
I think they're going to have to throw the flag here. I don't know if he got it back to the line of scrimmage. If he did, he should be okay.
He did not.
He did not.
I was going to let it go, AA. But the good news is for Chilton County and those who forgot to bring a jacket, the clock continues to move.
And hopefully this will get all of our fans out to Buffalo Wild Wings on Highway 280 a little sooner than anticipated. As our staff over there get ready, because we're going to get out of here a little earlier than we otherwise would. Thanks to the Buffalo Wild Wings on Highway 280 for being a great sponsor of Spain Park football in 2025.
This is one of the few nights as Barrett Price calls for and makes a fair catch. Jags will start from their own 19. The few Friday nights where I'm not traveling with UAB or don't have a game tomorrow. So I'm in hog heaven.
Look out, I was about to say, it sounds like you're about to have a relaxing rest of the night and probably can turn TV on and look at all the college football that you desire tomorrow.
I am. I'm going to mix in a little bit of golf.
Oh, yeah, you can't beat that.
No, while it's still nice outside.
Yeah.
Handoff right up the middle. After making a couple of guys miss, got a new quarterback who's entered the game.
And that's Kumar, Amav Kumar.
Amav Kumar. And I think that's Beverly, who got some carries last week. If my eyes don't deceive me, yep. And now he trots off the field, Mac Beverly. Listed as a fullback, serve as a running back at times as well.
Picks up another Atlas Senior Living first down. They got the reserves, making sure our sponsors stay happy.
And off from Kumar.
Hill, the ball carrier.
Got to work on that snap a little bit. Snaps have been a little high, but still able to pick up 5 yards on that carry.
Caden Hill, the ball carrier. Second down and 5. And Mac Beverly. Tossed down after the whistles had blown. Forward progress stopped at 31. That'll bring up third down and 10. 5 minutes, 24 seconds, as you see there on your screen and counting.
Got to work on that snap, though. All those snaps have been high, messing up the timing just a bit.
Another high snap, and once again, Chilton County getting back there quickly. Their defender, right as the point that Cahill got the handoff, he was right there. Punting unit heads out once again. Jones Van Pelt will line up punt formation. Lutenbacher to snap it back.
To have gone through these last 2 years, certainly we had finished the 2023 season with 4 wins in region play. Then to go 7-0 last year in region play, and this year you're looking at a 6-1 mark. So under Brock Bradley, it has been great since the second half of his sophomore season, and that's what you want to do. You want to give your team the best chance. You get a home playoff game, and it's unfortunate that you find yourself catching Saraland around early, but you got to beat them all. You got to go through some tough challenges to be able to be a state champion. So, whether you caught them in the second week or possibly end up going to catch them in the third week, that's the team you got to go through.
There's no easy spot in that bracket. If you look around the state, how many talented, good teams there are in 6A. Whether it's here locally with the likes of Homewood, or up in North Alabama with a team like Hartselle.
Don't forget Parker, the reigning champ.
Parker.
Mount Brook, you can call them. You can call a lot of different schools that, and it just so happens to be that even though we're, the proximity of Spain Park to those schools is small, we just happen to be on the southern end of the bracket. So the power, if you will, is down in the Mobile area. So you've got to make that travel. You got to make that trip. It'd have been nice to have Saraland come up here, but in any form or fashion, you'd still have to beat them.
Saraland falling to Parker, as you mentioned, in the 6A title game last year at Protective Stadium. Speaking of titles, myself, Coach Tim Vakakis, members of the 95 state championship team at Homewood. That team being honored tonight at Waldrop Stadium as they play host to Minor, the 30-year anniversary of the Bob Newton first state championship. First year as a Homewood head coach, and then went on to Hall of Fame status by winning many more.
Still got your ring?
Still got the ring. They don't make them as big and as well, quite frankly, gaudy. Well, they didn't make them as big and as gaudy. Or at least the ones that were given to us. Whoever chose them did not want big and gaudy.
You know, I was reading a story about the World Series rings and how they didn't even come about until the 20s, and they used to just be gold bands, and then they just got bigger and gaudier. And you know, and in my travels around, you know, college athletics, I've got my hands on some championship rings. So I'm looking at a ring from like 2003, and it's a little bitty ring. Just got the championship ring from Miles, and like my finger needs a cane to carry that ring because it is.
Oh, it's crazy.
Oh man, they're huge.
Yeah, some of those rings, as you mentioned, they not only they don't not look natural on your finger, they weigh so darn much.
Like if you tried to take them out of the country, you probably have to declare them. Buy them a seat on the plane.
You definitely don't want to pack them with your luggage, because if you're close to that 50 pounds, you're paying for that extra bag.
No doubt.
And the clock mercifully will strike 0 in 36-plus seconds. And that'll be the final play here on this Friday night. Tim Vakakis and the Jags move to 7-2 on the season. As AA mentioned, only one loss in region play, but playing their best football. Defense pitches a shutout, AA, and we're back at it to close out the regular season against Gardendale next Thursday.
Man, and we're looking forward to it. One more tune-up for the playoffs, but you got to get through the tune-up first.
To all of our crew, we appreciate their hard work. Jacob, Josh, the General, all of those who make it possible, this broadcast. You make it possible, all of our fine sponsors. Again, the final tonight, 49-0. Jags a winner. We'll see you here next Thursday as the Rockets come a-calling.